Whoever came up with the saying, "down with the man," clearly never played Pac-Man. Or if they did, they only played the Atari 2600 version, in which case that saying makes complete sense. How about a new one? Up with the man! Pac-Man on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Who's the man? Pac's the man. Pac-Man was one of the most popular video games in the early 1980s. Sadly, Pac-Man had kind of a rough landing onto the home game console market with an abysmal Atari 2600 release. Not so with the Nintendo Entertainment System. NES owners got a bitchin' version of this rad game. Awesome. Anyway, the Nintendo Entertainment System and this version of Pac-Man were released many years after the Atari 2600 and that version of Pac-Man. So naturally, there's quite a bit of improvement here. In fact, you get a very nice version of Pac-Man for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It looks nice, it sounds good, and it plays pretty much like Pac-Man. It starts off very slowly, though, and then rapidly picks up speed. So this does have kind of a unique take on Pac-Man. It is slightly different than the actual arcade game. But I'm not sure that I would recommend that you go out and find this particular version of Pac-Man for any one specific reason. It's just a good version of Pac-Man. You know what this game could really use? Think about it. Flamethrowers. Like when you come back with an extra life, you should look like Dig Dug with a flamethrower. They may be ghosts, but I'll bet they're flammable. What are they ghosts of, by the way? Has that ever been explained? Who or what died to create the ghosts in Pac-Man? The ghost of Christmas present, past, future, and Casper's brother. I don't know. I'll jump ahead a few levels here. This is where the gameplay starts picking up speed, where the game actually becomes challenging. If you played Pac-Man ever before, if you like Pac-Man, I think it starts off too slowly. You have to grind through those initial couple levels, earning as many points as possible, and then fight for your life when the game gets faster. I do like the presentation. You get to see the entire full screen on the left, and then all the, other stuff like the numbers, the score, and the extra Pac-Mans that you have are on the right. I like that the score shows up in white numbers on a black background that you can easily read. You don't need a decoder ring or anything. That's presentation. My only disappointment with this version of Pac-Man is that it does not get the kind of presentation that Ms. Pac-Man got on the Sega Genesis several years later. That version of Ms. Pac-Man is really cool because you get a good version of the game and a number of additional mazes keeping with the traditional Ms. Pac-Man style. I'd have liked to see them take this one a bit further because the NES was perfectly capable of that. But as it is, this is a nice traditional version of Pac-Man for a home game console, and fans of the series back in the day would be fortunate to have this game cartridge. As I am fortunate to have this game cartridge donated to Classic Game Room by Andrew in Pennsylvania, the great Keystone State of the nation. Do you know why they call Pennsylvania the Keystone State? Because we invented keystones. The license plates used to read, "You've got a friend in Pennsylvania." They no longer say that. I'm not sure what that means. I just felt like throwing that out there. Thank you, Andrew. You've got a friend in Pennsylvania. Classic Game Room. That's what the license plates should say. And instead of random numbers and letters, they should all have names of different Atari 2600 games. Another nice thing about this particular version of Pac-Man is the artwork on the game cartridge. It's one of those Tengen game cartridges, so it doesn't look like the standard gray Nintendo Entertainment System cartridges. And the artwork on the game cartridge is classy, because Pac-Man is wearing a hat. A pimp hat. When you play this game right, Pac-Man puts those ghosts out on Ho Road.